encounter challenges and crises and contradictions and conflicts and things that go against the normal flow of life and everything in between. And so we understand that, but I feel like there's this mirage that we see with social media where we just, all of that goes out the window, and we just think that all these people are living these just extravagant, great lives. And behind the scenes, a lot of these people are not doing as great as we think they are. They piece together some key moments, and we have defined that as the totality of their existence when it's not. And so I think that we have to do a better job of differentiating between what's real and what's fantasy. But I won't go there today. More importantly, I want us to understand that most people lack the willpower to go after a greater life. I always say this to people. It's not that a greater life is not possible for you. It's not that a greater life is not within the vantage point or the viewpoint for you. Problem is that a lot of people don't have the will that it takes to produce a greater life. Yes, you have great ambition. You have big goals. You have big dreams. But when I look around the world today, I don't see a lot of people with the willpower to make it happen. And when I say willpower, I'm not talking about like the little engine that could. I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. That's mental assent. And a lot of people have tried that, and if you tried, you're going to fail miserably and be disappointed. What I'm talking about is having that internal fortitude that ignites you and empowers you to cross the finish line and to do what other people cannot do. You know, so many people ask me, Jamelle, you've had a podcast for 12 years. Your company has been in operation well over a decade. You've written all of these books. You've established yourself as an authority. How do I do it? And I tell them, first of all, you don't ask those type of questions. You don't do it overnight. You don't do it in 10 minutes. You don't do it in 2 weeks. I tell people I'm a 30-plus year success story. So people see me at these stages of my life today, and they assume that things have always been this way, and it hasn't. It's been a journey. It's been a process. There's been lessons and failures and highs and lows and ups and downs and crises and challenges, and so many things have happened, and then people come in at the good part of your story, and they assume that everything just happened, but it doesn't just happen, and this has been a journey, and just like it's been a journey for me, it's going to be a journey for every person, and I just want our mentality as a culture to change. Stop trying to take shortcuts. There are no shortcuts to success. Anything that promises you success with shortcuts is illegal. Write that down. Anything that promises you success with shortcuts is illegal. While there are opportunities for you to, flatten the curve or make progress a little faster than you originally thought you could, there are still some things that you cannot manipulate. Processes cannot be manipulated. Growth cannot be manipulated. And so we think because we read some books and we get a couple quick hacks that we're going to snap our fingers and reach success, and it doesn't work that way. You got to put in the work and the time and the cost to get to that point in your life. And so I just think it's important for us to understand that. Besides, most people like being comfortable and they hate being inconvenienced. And so a lot of people think that they're going to achieve all these great things with their lives. They're going to do all of these amazing things. And I'm not trying to crush their dreams or kill their spirit in any way. But what I'm letting them know is that it's not going to happen from you being comfortable. Every major life change will require you to step outside of your comfort zone. Write that down. Every major life change, every major life shift, every major life transition is going to require you to step outside of your comfort zone. Why is that, Jamelle? Because as you heard me say before, if you do what you have always done, you will continue to get the same results that you have always received or gotten in your life. And so we think doing the same is going to produce different, but you have to do different to get different. And so what different thing are you going to do that's going to make the distinction in this year versus every other year in your life? You know, when people come to me in the month of January and they're all fired up, I laugh because I know that it's short-lived. And, you know, January continues to go on, and we get to the end of the month, and that fire is gone. I don't see that zeal. I don't see that hunger. I don't see that pursuit. And I'm like, what happened? They were so inspired and motivated for a moment, but they don't have that willpower and that determination to make that thing a reality in your life. And so I believe that if you want to win in life, if you want to win in 2023, you have got to engage your will in the journey to victory. That's good. Write that down. If you want to win in life, if you want to win in 2023 and beyond, you got to engage your will in your pursuit of victory and success. Most people do just enough to maintain the status quo. Let's just be honest. Most people are only going to do enough to maintain the status quo. And the moment you begin to talk about anything that inconveniences their schedule, their life in any way, they're not interested. I think about the early years, and you heard me say this before, where I would just take everybody on. I'm a mentor. And I realized that I was wasting valuable time. I would follow up with the mentee, and they didn't do anything I told them to do. I would try to reach the mentee. They were not answering my calls. They were missing appointments and meetings. And I said, Jamelle, what are you doing? You're wasting valuable time for empty vessels that don't want to be filled. And so I started to redefine. I said, I'm going to be very selective in mentorship. I'm going to be very selective in who I invest my time and who I pour into, because everybody doesn't demand your time, focus, or attention. And so I want you to understand and realize that most people like the status quo. And so people, you know, it's funny. People will DM me on social media, I have a question. Can you help me with this? And, you know, when I have time, sometime I'll respond to the question. And you give them the answer, but you can tell from the response that it's not the answer that they were looking for. And they thank you for their time and for the time, and they go on about their business. But at the end of the day, I just laugh because, you know, I realized that what the answer and the feedback I gave them is not what they wanted to hear. They wanted something easy. The world is in the shape that it's in today, and I have to say this because a lot of people think that they're going to excel doing what's easy. How do I not turn this into an entire episode about that statement? We live in a world where everybody wants to excel doing what's easy. You don't excel at doing what's easy. You excel at doing what's difficult, and you excel at doing what is uncommon to most people. Write that down. You don't excel at doing what's easy. You excel at doing what's difficult, and you excel at doing what's uncommon to most people. So people will ask me about success and how do I achieve this goal? How do I take this business to the next level? How do I do X, Y, Z? And then I tell them that, and then they go do the antithesis of what I just said, and they get upset. Well, what happened is you thought that there was a shortcut to the success, and when I laid out the strategy and the tactical plan to get there, you didn't want to hear it. And so what happens is you begin to see your life in reverse, and you begin to repeat cycles over and over because you're not willing to do the work that it takes to be exceptional at what you do. And so a lot of people are frustrated, and they're like, I want to go to the next level, Jamelle. I want to do this. I want to do that. And then I begin to say, okay, you should do X, Y, Z to get there. And they're like, no, that's not it. It's got to be something else. Well, I mean, what else is it? If you're not taking the legal route to success, what route are you taking? Because I guarantee you, and I've seen it over and over again, people that try to take shortcuts to success, they end up shamed and reproached. it never goes well. There's a scandal. They may even go to prison,